As Allianz, we are very strong traditionally in motor insurance, both for retail, so end consumers buying their car and buying motor insurance, and for traditional fleets. And what we observe in the market is that there is a growing demand for non-standard solutions, or solutions that match the needs of new mobility players. And we're working on that very actively, not just in Europe, but basically globally. So I think we see two shifts in how we approach insurance. One is the type of vehicle. You just mentioned there are scooters out there, the new forms of mobility, drones. So we also have to adjust and think about how do we insure those risks, and also work with regulators to understand what's required when we think of autonomous vehicles, for example. So that's the one side. And the other side is we will not sell to end consumers then, but rather to fleet operators, to fleet managers. So it's more a B2B transaction, basically. Our expectation is that you basically consume mobility, and mobility will comprise the vehicle getting from A to B. It will comprise insurance. It will probably also comprise energy, whether it's fuel or electricity. So basically you do not worry about how do I get all these little bits components, but you basically buy mobility. And we are a component contributor, basically. When we look at autonomous vehicles, I think we have to differentiate between different types of what we consider autonomous. Yeah? I think there are what we consider level 1, level 2 systems that help drivers be more attentive, prevent accidents, that do automatic braking, for example. I think for that we will see a huge increase in the next couple of years. I mean, there are estimates that by 2030, 90% of all cars will have that level of autonomy, so to speak, advanced driver assistance system on board. And there we might see regulation actually as an accelerator, because it will be required, or in some markets it will be required, that new cars will have that on board. Similar to the emergency call discussion in Europe. When we look at fully autonomous vehicles, I think the timelines will be much, much longer. Yes, regulation is one factor, but we also see when we talk to our partners in the autonomous vehicle development side, that technology does have certain limits yet. And we'll probably see development in urban areas first, maybe with some restricted use, rather than like a fully fledged autonomous vehicle that will go everywhere you want to go.